Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Well, I finally got my Unmineable payout. My whole GPU mining farm has been mining to Unmineable for about 10 days now, and I finally got my payout. It's about $80, so now I'm ready to actually move my cards back off of Unmineable and put them back onto xelis. And I also want to mess around with some settings and move some cards around to make my farm a little bit more efficient. As you guys know, if you've been following the channel, profits are terrible right now for GPU mining. They're basically the worst they've been since I got back into GPU mining in December of 2023. So not a great time right now, but we are going to move some things around to capitalize on it. Let's get into it. Hey guys, quick interruption to talk about today's sponsor, ViaBTC. If you're mining Bitcoin or Litecoin, you're not going to want to miss this. ViaBTC offers a few different ways to boost your mining rewards compared to other pools. First off, ViaBTC offers merged mining. This allows you to mine multiple cryptos at the same time. For example, when mining Litecoin, you will automatically be mining Dogecoin, Bells, Pepe, Junkcoin, and Lucky Coin at the same time. Merge mining is also available on Bitcoin. The second way to earn extra income with ViaBTC is pool referrals. Refer anyone and you can get 10 to 20% of their mining fees. ViaBTC also has an insanely competitive 2-hour payout schedule. So if you aren't already, definitely check out ViaBTC and see if you can increase your mining rewards today. I'll leave a link down below and let's get back to the video. We've got a super warm January day going on right now. It is January 30th, so I've got the garage open. That thing hasn't been opened in a while, and this is what we are working with here. So since I said it's warm outside, the DG Home 1 is no longer upstairs warming the house because it's too hot. So it is back down here on the shelf, and it does fit pretty good on that shelf right there. All I had to do was scoot this rig slightly over to the side, and that one fits there just fine. Plugged it into the 240 volt PDU and our Ethernet connection there. So that's our most profitable miner. Still been killing it. Thank you, Crypto Miner Bros, for that one. I'll have a link down below if anyone wants that. So these two rigs up top are still turned off, which is fine since it's so hot right now. And I keep mentioning that that one was the least efficient, so that's why it's off, and that one was on Warthog. But today, the main thing I want to do is to remove the 3080 from this rig and swap it with the 3070 in my Warthog rig. And we'll turn this Warthog rig on. Let's actually just do it right now to see what our hash rate on Warthog is before and after putting a 3080 on there. I think I'm at like 600 mega hash with the 3070, and there's a 5900X under that cooler. So we'll see what that increases to when we pair it with a 3080. Now, one other thing I thought was interesting is one of these fans, I think it was maybe this card, this third fan was not working for basically the last 3 or so months, and all of a sudden now, all of these fans are spinning. So I don't know how that got fixed. I thought I definitely needed to plug that into Windows and go into the EVGA Precision software to get that third fan working, but somehow it just started working all on its own, so that's pretty sweet. Let's see, we are using a full amount of power of 4,000 to about 4,300 watts with the DG Home 1 down here because that uses 600 watts. So let's turn on our little wall PC here and see what our Warthog hash rate's looking like, and then from there, we'll start moving some stuff around. I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon for this right here. This is a Bitcoin merch, basically a solo miner where you plug in a bunch of USB solo miners into it. I'm going to be either giving this away all to one person or giving away each of these little devices. I'm not sure which one yet. So let's hit F1 and we'll start loading into HiveOS here. While we wait for that to load, you may notice that my BitAxe is no longer hanging up here. It just wasn't hashing anymore. I upgraded the firmware, didn't fix it. I restarted it multiple times, wasn't working. So I just unplugged that thing for now. I gotta say, the reliability of those solo miners is pretty dang awful. The only one that's still working is actually my little USB miner, and this is the one that doesn't have a chance but every 300 billion years to hit a Bitcoin block. So essentially zero, but still pretty cool. So that's a bit unfortunate, and that kind of throws off all the solo mining calculations when they don't even last 6 months. Then it's really, at that point, not better than a lottery ticket. If you've seen some of my videos on the solo miners, I personally think they are better than lottery tickets, like going out and buying a lottery ticket every day. But if they don't last but a month and a half, then they're definitely not better than lottery tickets. So that's the only other difference going on right now. All right, so I was correct with the 3070. We're at about 600 mega hash on Warthog. So let's go ahead and swap over that 3080 in there and see how much that increases our hash rate. Now, one other thing that I'm interested in is basically what our total Xelis hash rate is, 1.049. So basically a gigahash of Xelis hash rate. And we will be removing, is that this rig? We will be removing this 3080 right here. So one question I had for you guys is, if you notice, like all the 3070s on this rig are getting 28 to 29 mega hash, but if I go to my rainbow rig, which is all the For the Win 3 cards, all of these are sitting at the 27 range. And I've got the same overclocks on all of them, and the same kernel version and the same HiveOS version, and for whatever reason, my For the Win 3 cards are always getting less hash rate than my other ones. So I think it's got to be something HiveOS related, but for whatever reason, those ones are just getting less hash rate. So if you all know what's going on there, definitely let me know. But let's go ahead and swap this 3080 over. Go ahead and turn this bad boy off. And then I just got this new Fantech screwdriver, which is pretty nice for stuff like this, basically just unscrewing these screws. There we go. Pop this bad boy out. And we'll do the same thing over here. Flip this power switch, and I'll use that same screwdriver to unscrew this 3080. I have to remember which one it is right here. And there she is. Now I don't need to change the overclocks or anything because I've always just overclocked my 3080s the same as my 3070s, so that will make this switch pretty easy. Just need to get it on the riser and then get it screwed in. That Fantech screwdriver is pretty handy down in there. Okay. Turn it on, should be good to go. Fans are spinning. Hopefully she boots up. Let's get the 3080 up in here now. There we go, it's much easier. Okay, 3080 is loaded on. Let's flip this on and see what our new hash rate looks like. Even though we're probably turning this thing off for now anyway. But so the main reason I'm doing this is because the 3070s are 15% more efficient than 3080s on Xelis. So this rig, which is part of the 3 rigs that I'm gonna leave on, will be a little bit more efficient now. Just a little bit, but every little bit helps in these situations. All right, guys, looks like that installation went good. This is what I'm talking about though. So that rig we just took the 3080 out of has 362 mega hash, and it has a couple 3060 Ti's on it right here. But if you go back to the Rainbow rig, it only has 336 hash rate. So 10% less, even though it is all 3070s. So something weird is going on since they all have the same overclock settings. I'll really quickly zoom in on, you can see like the kernel version and everything on here, and then I'll go to the rig that has a lot of hash rate. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe you guys do. Not a huge deal, but it would be nice to get that extra hash rate out of there. So the 3080 rig is booting up right now. Let's see how long it's going to take to, it looks like we did get an accepted share, but it takes a while to actually show our mega hash. So we will check back in a second and see how much we increase from 600. All right, so for the hog, it looks like we got up to 700 mega hash. So about 100 mega hash increase. But for now, I will go ahead and turn this off because this is not profitable. So we will leave these doing their thing, and we'll check back in a day or so and see what we're making per day in Xelis and if it's covering the cost, because just these rigs alone are using about $9.7 in power a day at around the 3,700 watt mark. So I need to see, now that I flipped these back to Viper Pool, how much we're going to be making per day. Now, if I take a look at the estimated over here, it says our estimated is about $8.79 per day, almost 2 Xelis. So that would mean we're losing about $1 a day, but with it being winter, and this is normally heating my house when it's not so warm outside, then I don't really care about $1 a day loss, because that's certainly better than the $5 to $6 a day loss I'd be taking if I had my heat on.